Hi everyone. Today we will discuss about working of electrical tachometers and non-contact type tachometers and stroboscope tachometers. In previous class, we have discussed about the tachometers. What is the tachometer and what is the introduction of tachometer? What is the principle of tachometer and what are the advantages and applications of the tachometer? And what are the different classifications of the tachometer? So in the tachometer, there are different classifications and different types. So the tachometers is classified into uh, different measurements of speed. That is mechanical tachometers, electrical tachometers, and non-contact type tachometers and stroboscope tachometers. These are the different types of tachometers in the speed measuring instruments. In previous class, we already discussed about the what is tachometer, what are the advantages and disadvantages of the tachometer, and what is applications of the tachometer, and what are the classifications is also discussed in previous class. And mechanical tachometers, in that mechanical tachometers have different types of mechanical tachometers are used to measure the speed. Okay, so these are the different types of mechanical tachometers used in the measurement of speed. In this class we will see about what is the working of electrical tachometers and non-contact type and stroboscope tachometers. First of all, we can see electrical tachometers. What is electrical tachometers and what are the different types of electrical tachometers and what its process and working of these tachometers. So in this electrical tachometers, it has different types of electrical tachometers, that is AC current type and DC current type of electrical tachometers. In the tachometer, first classification is eddy current or drag cup tachometer. Eddy current or drag cup tachometer. So in that, eddy current or drag cup tachometers is used to measure the speed of the different devices. An eddy current tachometer uses the interaction of the magnetic fields generated by a permanent magnet and a rotor whose speed of rotation is proportional to the eddy current generated. So the eddy current tachometers is used to generate the is used to calculate the speed of the rotating shaft. So the speed of the rotating shaft, uh, based upon that speed of rotating shaft is taking input, and we can calculate the how much amount of speed is rotating of that shaft by numerical values. That setup, we can arrange this setup. It is a permanent magnet is placed in that, uh, placed under a rotor with connection of this tachometer. You can see the magnetic field generated by a permanent magnet. So the permanent magnet is placed in the uh, this tachometer. So in that permanent magnet is placed in between the uh, driving shaft. uh, what type of shaft rotating speed we should calculate, so that type of shaft is connecting to a rotating magnet. So that rotating magnet is connected through the drag cup. Okay, it's connected to the drag cup, then whose speed of rotation is proportional to the eddy current generated. So the rotation, the shaft should be rotated automatically. The connection of a magnet is also rotates, then it will generates the electric magnetic force of that shaft. Then the currents tend to deflect a disc which is mounted on the shaft and are restricted by a spring through a certain angle. So the currents tends to a deflection disc. So the current are flows through a deflection disc is arranged through the shaft, and it has arranged with a drag cup. In the drag cup is connected with hairspring. So whenever the shaft should be rotated, automatically the magnet is also rotates. It will generate EMF. Then that EMF is passed through the drag cup. Automatically, the hairspring should be activated. So in the activation of the hairspring, the pointer is connected through that hairspring. Automatically, the pointer shows how much amount of uh, the shaft rotates speed. It should be calculated. So the rotating shaft speed is automatically calculated by the pointer on that device. In that device, we can place a calibrated scale on that dial. So that is the overall working of the eddy current tachometer. So in the tachometer, the deflection of the disc, which is rigidly connected to a pointer, is indicated on dial. So the deflection of the disc, that means the hairspring is connected through the dial. So the dial is connected through the point. So the pointer shows the how much amount of deflection, how much amount of speed should be calculated through a um, calibrated scale is placed on the dial. Uh, the rotating shaft speed is calculated through numericals on the calibrated scale by the help of pointer. So that is the overall working process of the magnetic drag tachometer. And what are the different constructional details of this eddy current type of tachometers? You can see there is a driving cable. In the driving cable is connected with the rotating magnet. The driving cable, it is the driving cable. This driving cable, it should means it is rotating. So the driving cable is connected with a rotating magnet. The magnet is also rotates. In that magnet, we can place the drag cup. We can place the magnet of the drag cup. So the drag cup is placed behind the rotating magnet. Automatically, whenever the shaft should be rotated, the driving cable is also rotates, um, and the magnet should generate the EMF. Means electromagnetic force should be generated, and the drag cup should be activated. The hairspring is also activated. Then the pointer should be deflected. So how much amount of shaft speed, it should be calculated by using the dial. In that dial, we can place a calibrated scale. Okay, so we can calculate the numerical value of the shaft speed by using this dial indicator. Okay, so that is the overall constructional details of the eddy current or drag cup tachometers. So in this electrical type of tachometers, we have two different types of tachometers. That is DC tacho generator and AC tacho generator. These are also two types of tachometers used in the electrical tachometers. First one, DC tacho generator. In the DC tacho generator, the EMF generated depends upon the following factors. So the electromagnetic force is generated by the following factors. It is field field excitation and speed. Field excitation and speed. These are the two factors depending upon the DC generator developing of EMF. Okay. If for the field system, permanent magnet pole pieces are used. So in the DC tacho generator, we are using permanent magnet poles. Permanent magnet poles are used to generate the EMF. Then the generated voltage depends upon only on the speed. So the EMF generated based upon the rotating shaft speed. So the shaft is rotating at very high speed. The EMF is also generates very high, and the shaft rotates at small speed. The EMF generated at very less. So based upon the shaft speed, the EMF should be changed. Hence the speed can be computed by measuring the generated EMF. Hence, the speed can be computed by measuring the generation of EMF. So, this generation of EMF, how much amount of EMF should be generated in that EMF, it is calculated as speed. Okay. Next one. The shaft whose speed is to be measured is coupled to the armature. So the shaft whose speed is measured by the coupled of armature. A moving coil voltmeter is connected across the brushes to measure the generation of voltage. So the moving coil voltmeter is connected through the brushes of measuring the how much amount of voltage should be generated on the DC tacho generator. So it is the overall setup of the DC tacho generator. You can see what are the different constructional details of this DC tacho generator. It has a shaft, a rotating shaft. In that rotating shaft is connected through a armature, and the permanent magnets are placed in between the armature. It is north pole magnet and south pole magnet. These are the two permanent magnets are placed in the armature. These magnets are used to um, develop the EMF of the DC tacho generator. So the EMF of this DC tacho generator, it is based upon uh, the speed of the rotating shaft. The speed of the rotating shaft increases automatically. The EMF should be generated in this armature is high. The speed of the rotating shaft is very less. The EMF should be produced in this armature is very low. So based upon the rotating shaft speed, the EMF should be changed. Okay. And this armature, we are connected with a commutator, and the commutator is connected with the resistor and the moving coil voltmeter. In that voltmeter, how much amount of voltage is developed in that armature, it is calculated. Okay, so these are the different constructional details of the DC tacho generator. A moving coil voltmeter is connected across the brushes to measure the generation of voltage. You can see it is the moving coil voltmeter. This moving coil voltmeter is used to measure the how much amount of voltage is developed in the armature. So the armature develops the voltage. How much amount of voltage is developed in this DC tacho generated? By using this voltmeter, we can measure the how much amount of current should be produced on this. How much amount of voltage is produced on this armature by using the voltmeter. Okay. Since the voltage is proportional to the speed, the voltmeter may be calibrated in terms of speed. Since the voltage is proportional to the speed, because of the speed of the shaft is rotating at very high speed, the voltage is also rises. Automatically, the speed of the shaft decreases, the voltage is also decreases. So based upon the rotating shaft speed, the voltage should be changed. Okay. So what are the different constructional details? You can see it is the rotating shaft. It is the rotating shaft. This shaft is rotating. Directly, this rotating shaft is connected with armature. In that armature, we have a commutator and brushes. Commutator with brushes. Okay. So in that commutator with brushes, the armature is behind of the permanent magnets are placed in between the armature. The permanent magnets are placed in between the armature. Then the shaft should be rotated. Automatically, the armature is also rotated. When the magnet is used to develop the to generate the EMF. Okay, so the EMF generated by this commutator, how much amount of electromagnetic force generated, it is calculated by the variable resistor and the voltmeter. So how much amount of voltage is developed in the commutator, it is calculated by voltmeter. Okay, so the electromagnetic force generated on this DC tacho generator, it is calculated as speed of the shaft. That's why the EMF should be calculated the speed of the shaft. So it is the constructional details of the DC tacho generator, and you can see what is AC tacho generator. The inherent demerits associated with DC tacho generator due to the provision of a commutator and brushes are eliminated in AC tacho generator. So that is a direct current tacho generator. Indeed, is in that AC tacho generator has we are taking alternating current. So the inherent demerits associated with the DC tacho generator due to the provision of commutator and brushes are eliminated. So in this AC tacho generator, we are eliminating the commutator and brushes. Commutator and brushes. These are the commutator and brushes. These commutator and brushes setup are eliminated in the AC tacho generator. Okay, so it consists of like an alternator, a stationary armature, and a rotating field system. So that means a starter and rotor is placed in the alternating current tacho generator. Owing to the generation of EMF in a stationary coil on a starter, commutation problems no longer exist. So the alternating EMF induced in the stationary coil is rectified, and the output DC voltage is measured with the help of a moving coil voltmeter. Same as the DC tacho generator, the EMF should be produced, and the how much amount of EMF is developed on that coil. So the voltage is calculated by the moving coil voltmeter. Okay, so the ripple content of the rectified voltage is smoothened by the capacitor filter, so that voltage should be it very smooth, and we can get the smoothened voltage. We can connect this voltage meter into that capacitor filter C. Okay, you can see the what is the working and what are the different constructional details of this AC tacho generator. So there is a rotating shaft. There is a rotating shaft. In that rotating shaft is connected with a rotor, and the rotor we have placed a starter coil. So in a DC tacho generator, the shaft is connected with the armature. In that armature we have a commutator with the uh, moving commutator with the brushes of the DC tacho generator. So in that AC tacho generator, the commutator and brushes should be eliminated, and in that place we are taking a rotor and a starter coil. Okay, a rotor and a starter coil are taking in place of the commutator and brushes in AC tacho generator. This rotor is connected with the rotating shaft. In that rotor is connected with the starter coil. So that starter coil we are connected with the a Wheatstone bridge circuit of the AC tacho generator. A Wheatstone bridge circuit of the AC tacho generator. In that Wheatstone bridge circuit, two ends are connected with this starter coil, and another two ends of the uh, Wheatstone bridge is connected with one pole is connected with the resistance, and the another pole is connected with the voltage and capacitance. So these are the overall construction of the AC tacho generator. And what is the working, you can see as the speed depends on the both amplitude of the voltage and frequency. The speed is depends upon the AC tacho generator. So the shaft speed is maintained by the amplitude of the voltage and frequency developed on this AC tacho generator. That's why the speed is calculated. We can calculate the voltage and frequency of this AC tacho generator. Any one of them can be used as a measure of the speed. In an AC tacho generator, it is the induced voltage that is considered as the required parameter. So the voltage is the required parameter in the AC tacho generator. That required voltage is taking to calculate the speed by using this AC tacho generator. Okay, so that is the working principle of the AC tacho generator. And what are the advantages of this electrical type of tachometers? It has a linear relationship between output and rotational speed. So the rotational speed based upon the rotational speed uh, is proportional to the output of the electrical tachometers. It is based on the rotational speed is very high, the output is also generated high. If the rotational speed is very less, the output is also less. So based upon this relation, the output is getting by the rotational speed, and it is a rugged and inexpensive. It requires less maintenance. It gives ripple free output. So it gives a very less maintenance. It has a no maintenance occurred. It has very less maintenance, and it is a rugged and inexpensive material uh, of the electrical tachometers. It gives the ripple free output. So the output comes freely on this electrical tachometers. And disadvantages: these tachometers are hard to calibrate at high speed. It has a non-linear relationship between speed and output. So what are the applications of these electrical tachometers? So automobile speedometer. So we have different automobiles. In the different automobiles, we can calculate that automobile speed by using this electrical type of tachometers are used to measure the speed of the vehicle. So that is automobile speedometers work basing on this principle. So the speedometers are used in this type of electrical tachometers are used in the different automobile vehicles, and the locomotive speed is measured by this tachometer after some modifications. So after some modifications of these electrical tachometers, we can also measure the locomotive speeds. Okay, so by using these speedometers, we can calculate the locomotive speeds also. So these are the different advantages, disadvantages, and applications of the electrical tachometers. And next one, non-contact type or contactless electrical tachometers. Contactless electrical tachometers. It is also known as non-contact electrical tachometers. In that non-contact type of tachometers, there is one of the tachometer is magnetic pickup tachometer. The non-contact type of tachometer is magnetic pickup tachometer. By using this magnetic pickup tachometer, we can calculate the speed of the device. It is automatically without contacting the object. A coil wounded on a permanent magnet, not on iron core. This configuration enable us to measure rotational speed of the system. So a coil is wounded on a permanent magnet. So you can see, if I am taking one permanent magnet, a coil is wounded on that permanent magnet. Okay, so you can see what are the different constructional details of that permanent magnet. There is a coil and permanent magnet. So the permanent magnet is wounded with a coil, and that is the output pulse train to be counted. So that permanent coil is wounded on magnet, that is used to measure the output pulse of the rotating element. So in that construction of variable reluctance sensors, we use ferromagnetic gear wheel. As the gear wheel rotates, change in magnetic flux takes place in the pickup coil, which further induces voltage. This change in magnitude is proportional to the voltage induced in the sensors. So we can take a gear wheel, a ferromagnetic gear wheel. A ferromagnetic gear wheel, it is taking, so the ferromagnetic gear wheel should be rotates. So a sensor is placed in between the ferromagnetic wheel and the magnetic coil. So the ferromagnetic is rotates automatically. It sends the speed of that ferromagnetic gear, and it will develops the voltage of the coil. The coil should be develop the voltage of that ferromagnetic gear. So that voltage should be calculated as the speed of the ferromagnetic gear. So that is the working procedure of the magnetic pickup tachometer. And next one, pickup tachometer. In this pickup tachometer is also a non-contact type of tachometer. It is used to measure the speed. Various pickup devices can be used in conjunction with a digital counter to give a direct reading of speed. So some of the devices we can calculate the speed is very automatically without contacting. So the without contacting of the object, the speed is calculating is very easily by using this type of tachometers. Various pickup devices can be used in conjunction with a digital counter. In this pickup tachometer, we have a digital counter to measure the speed of the object at directly. Okay, an inductive pickup tachometer is shown in figure. So there are two different types of tacho pickup tachometers. That is, one is inductive type of tachometer, and next one capacitive type of tachometers. These are the two different types of pickup tachometers. And as the individual teeth pass the coil, they induce an EMF pulse, which is approximately modified and then fed to a digital counter. So the EMF is generated by this uh, inductive tachometer. So the toothed wheel, we can place the sensor in between that pickup coil and the toothed wheel. It will sense the speed of the toothed wheel and it will pass us to the signal modifier. That signal modifier is automatically shows the digital reading of the by using that digital counter. Okay, so that is inductive transducer. And next one, as the individual teeth pass the coil, they induce an EMF pulse, which is appropriately modified and then fed to a digital counter. A capacitive pickup tachometer is shown in figure. As the rotating vane passes between the plates, a capacitance change occurs in the form of a pulse. So the capacitance is placed in between the rotating vane and the capacitor, and uh, the capacitance is placed in between the rotating vane and in form of the rotating shaft. That's why the EMF should be generated, and it is also directly calculates the speed of that shaft. So this is modified and then fed to the digital counter. So by using digital counter, the speed of the shaft is directly calculated, um, calculated numerical values of that rotating device. So these are the two types of pickup tachometers. One is inductive type of pickup tachometer and another one is capacitive type of pickup tachometer. These are the two types of pickup tachometers. Next one, photoelectric tachometer. It is also non-contact type of electric tachometer. It consists of a opaque disc mounted on the shaft whose speed is to be measured. The disc has a number of equivalent holes around the periphery. On one side of the disc, there is a source light is placed in between the uh, disc, and the other side a light sensor. It may be a photosensitive device or photo tube in line with it. That is light source. You can say the photoelectric tachometer. You can see that photoelectric tachometer, the light source is passing through that uh, opaque disc. That opaque disc is connected through the rotating shaft. So that rotating shaft, the shaft is rotating with opaque disc, the light is passing through the opaque disc and it will emit to the light sensors. So the light is emitted by this opaque disk. So the speed of the shaft is increased. Automatically, the opaque disk is also produce the light source at very high amount of light source is produced through this light sensors. Automatically, uh, the light uh, is affected and it is calculated how much amount of speed should be rotating on the shaft. On the rotation of the disc, holes and opaque portions of the disk come alternatively in between the light source and the light sensors. When a hole comes in between the two, light passes through the holes and falls on the light sensor, with the result that an output pulse is generated. But when the opaque portion of the disk comes in between, the light from the source is blocked and hence there is no pulse output. So in this opaque disk, the shaft is rotated. If the light source is passing through that hole, the light is sensed with the light sensors. So in that opaque sensor, there is no hole. The light source is not passing through this opaque disk, and the light sensor not getting the light source. So whenever the light source is passing through that hole, automatically the light sensors sense that light. It will also automatically generates the EMF of the photoelectric tachometer. Okay. Thus, whenever a hole comes in line with the light source and sensors, a pulse is generated. These pulses are counted or measured through an electronic counter. So in this photoelectric tachometer, the number of pulses generated depends upon the following factors: the number of holes in the disc and the shaft speed. So the opaque disc we are taking, how much number of holes are placed in that opaque disc. um, Based upon this opaque disc, the light source should be uh, the light should be calculated as the speed of the rotating shaft. Since the number of holes are fixed, therefore the number of pulses generated depends upon the speed of the shaft only. The electronic counter may be therefore calibrated in terms of speed. So the electronic counter is to take and to calculate the speed of the shaft. So that is the overall working procedure of the photoelectric tachometer. Photoelectric tachometer. So what is the computer mouse with a ball? Computer mouse with a ball. So that rotates the uh, that sends the photoelectric tachometer. We are used in the computer mouse with a ball. And next one, what is stroboscope? So it is also measurement of speed by using this device. The instrument operates on the principle that if a repeating event is only viewed when at one particular point on its cycle, it appears to be stationary. A mark is made on rotating shaft and a flashing light is subjected on the shaft. The frequency of the flashing is one very short flash per revolution. So to determine the shaft speed, we increases the frequency of the flashing gradually from a small value until the rotating shaft appears to be stationary. Then note the frequency of that shaft, and the frequency then double if there is still one apparent stationary image. The frequency is again doubled. This continued until two images appear 180 degrees apart. When first appear for these two images, the flash frequency is twice the speed of the rotation. So it is this stroboscope to detect the speed. Stroboscope are used to measure the angular speed between 600 to 20,000 RPM. So its advantage is that it does not need to make contact with the rotating shaft. So the it is also a contactless type of speed measuring instrument. So in this stroboscope, the stroboscope object is not contact with the shaft. So without contacting of the shaft, the speed is calculated by this stroboscope. So what is the comparison between the analog and digital tachometers? Analog tachometer and digital tachometer. So the analog tachometer has a needle and dial type of interface. No provision for storage of readings. It cannot compute average deviation. And digital tachometers, it has a LCD or LED readout screen is placed in the digital tachometer, and memory is provided for the storage of that reading. and can perform statistical functions like averaging, etc. So that is the comparison of the analog tachometer and digital tachometers, and what are the different classifications based upon the data acquisition technique. So in that have there is a contact type and a non-contact type. These are the two classifications of the data acquisition in the measuring of speed tachometers. The contact type has the wheel of tachometers need to be brought into contact with the rotating object. The non-contacting type, the measurement can be made without having to attach the tachometer to the rotating object. So what he told is the contacting in type, the device is contact with the rotating shaft in that contact type. In non-contact type, the device should not contact with the rotating shaft. Okay. And time measurement classification based upon the measurement technique, and time measurement and frequency measurement. These two measurements based upon the speed of the shaft is calculated. Okay, so the tachometer calculates speed by measuring the time and the frequency of the uh, how much amount of frequency developed on the device, the speed is calculated. So how to choose a tachometer? uh, Based upon the different properties, it is accuracy, precision, range, acquisition time, it is a contact type or non-contact type, and it is a portable or fixed, it is a digital or analog tachometer, and the cost of the tachometer. These are the different properties should be based, these are the different properties are taken to select a tachometer. So these are the overall measurement measuring instrument of speeds. These are the different devices, different instruments to measure the speed. So next class we will discuss a new topic. Thank you guys.